Hello FPL managers, and welcome back to another video from myself, Will, and fantasyfootballhub.co.uk. This is it. The final day has arrived. All the tinkering, all the research, all the painstaking hours looking at different FPL drafts has come to this. This is my final Game1 draft. Let's get into it. Before we do jump into the final team reveal, a last cheeky plug for Fantasy Football Hub membership. Our 25% off discount ends today. So if you are interested in signing up for Fantasy Football Hub, I'll leave a link in the description and in the information card above. I've just got to say thank you because I've been absolutely blown away by the amount of you that are signing up. It's just absolutely unreal. So a massive thank you to everyone that is signing up. I've been getting great feedback on the site and the app as well. It's great to see so many of you enjoying the features, the articles, the tools, the resources. It's been such a massive effort from all of our tech guys, all of our content guys to put all of this content in one easily accessible place for you. So if you have been contemplating signing up and you're yet to do it, go check it out. Link in the description and in the information card above. Okay, firstly, I want to thank everyone for subscribing to Fantasy Football Hub YouTube. We managed to hit our 50k target, so thank you to everyone that hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you are yet to subscribe, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. Loads and loads of FPL content, all designed to help you win those mini leagues. So here it is in all its glory. And before I start talking through it, just one caveat here is that I fully expect this to be my final team. But of course, I'm going to be paying very close attention to the press conferences, any latest news. Obviously, if there's something happen, then I will make a change to this team. Potentially, I could just decide I want another player and I could do a final little tinker. I think that's pretty unlikely. You know, I've been set on this team for, the last 24 hours and I don't really like making last minute tinkers unless there's a good reason to do it. But all of that said, there's a chance I might not start Game Week 1 with this team. I will reveal my very final team on Twitter. My handle is at @FFH_Will if you want to drop me a follow on there. Okay, so between the sticks gone for Backman. I know Sanchez is a really popular option. I think he's a really good option as well. I just fancy Backman to make more saves than Sanchez, and I just think that he's got a bit of a higher ceiling. Watford in the Championship, last 7 games of the Championship didn't concede 1 goal. Obviously, that's not going to happen in the Premier League. But Backman, for all intents and purposes, is a very good keeper. He's also known for making penalty saves. So, potentially, I just think that he could potentially be, one of the standout keepers this season. Watford are going to face a lot of shots, and I think that's potentially very good for Backman. And hopefully he can pick up those saves. Hopefully he can pick up those bonuses, and you never know, maybe he can get a penalty save in there as well. So that's why I've gone for him. I just think he's got a bit of a higher ceiling than Sanchez. Veltman, I really do like the Brighton defence, and I think that he's a good option. I was a little concerned with the fact that there's potential for Lamptey to come back in a few weeks, and obviously Veltman's got that right hand side spot for Brighton. However, looking into it, I know that he can play various different positions across the back four. Potentially, he could even go into midfield. So I think his place in the Brighton side is fairly secure long term, even if he's not going to be playing on the right-hand side. And again, offering some decent attacking threat there. I'm not going to go into Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's must-own pick for me. So if you haven't got him, put him in your team. Tsimikas, what can I say? This guy, he looks like a complete no-brainer. I know there is some debate about, which 3 Liverpool players you have. A lot of people edging towards, Trent, Salah, and potentially Jota or Mane. I do see the logic in that, but look, I think if you've got an attacking Liverpool fullback who's priced 4.0 with their fixtures, then, I think doing anything else for me is just a little bit of overthinking. Yes, I think Jota's a good pick. Yes, I think Mane could potentially be a good pick, although for me, he's overpriced. But, Tsimikas, 4.0, I think he's just a bit of a no-brainer. Similar situation to Shaw, to be honest. If he'd been priced at 6 million, I probably still would be considering, might even still have him in my team. Just simply given the fact that he's really attacking. Man United have got good fixtures. He's going to be on a lot of set pieces, and Manchester United have obviously got a new set piece coach in. So hopefully Shaw can benefit from that, putting in those set piece deliveries. So yeah, I think he's a fantastic pick as well. In midfield, Salah, Fernandes, not going to talk too much about them. They've been in every single one of my drafts. Rafinha though, he was in a lot of my early drafts. I recently switched him out for Harvey Barnes. I still do really like Harvey Barnes. The reason I've gone for Rafinha though is that I do think he is massively unpriced. And I think he's a good longer term pick. You know, the draft I had last time with Harvey Barnes in it, it was very much for the short term. The other thing about Harvey Barnes is that Brendan Rodgers came out and said he's not 100% fit. Now, I don't want to scare anyone who has Harvey Barnes. I still think he's going to start, and I still think he's probably going to get a good chunk of minutes. But, you know, I was 50-50 between Rafinha and Barnes, and then I saw that quote, and it's just edged me towards going for Rafinha. And just looking at some of the stats from last season, you know, Rafinha, so creative. Maybe doesn't offer quite the goal threat that Harvey Barnes does, but, you know, still offers a really good goal threat, and he's really good on the bonus. And Leeds are going to be really attacking. I don't obviously like their first fixture particularly, you know, against Manchester United away, but can they score in that game? Yes, they can, and I think that he's going to offer a threat, you know, going into any of those fixtures. Son Heung-min, you know, I think that whatever happens to Harry Kane, this guy's going to be a good pick. If Harry Kane goes, he's going to be spearheading that attack. He's got a good chance of being on penalties. You know, that's not 100%, but I think he's got a good chance of being on penalties. And if you look at the data of him with and without Kane, there isn't a huge amount of difference. Obviously, with Kane back in the side, you know, that's his strike partner, and they combined to score loads of goals last season. But I still think that, you know, him as a spearheading for that Spurs attack, he's going to get lots of opportunities. He's going to score lots of FPL points. Again, I'm not overblown by their first fixture against Manchester City, but we have to remember we're not creating a team just for Game Week 1. Their fixtures from Game Week 2 to Game Week 4 are fantastic. The other reason I do like having him in there is obviously his price point. You know, you can easily downgrade to, you know, potentially one of the City guys if they begin to explode. You can also potentially use them as a bit of a cash cow to downgrade him and then potentially upgrade one of Ings or Antonio to the likes of Lukaku or even Harry Kane. So I like having that money in one player. It gives your team, you know, a lot of flexibility. And that's really what I've tried to do with this squad. As you'll see, there's a lot of different price points across the team. So I'm hoping that this team is going to be fairly flexible. It's fairly focused on the early fixtures, but not too much focused in the early fixtures that I'm going to need to play my wildcard early. You'll note that I brought Ben White in for Amati from my last draft. The reason I've got Ben White in there is because in Game Week 4, Ben White, I think, plays Norwich at home, and then Arsenal have a fantastic run of fixtures from Game Week 4. And that's kind of when we're expecting Robertson to come back into the team for Tsimikas. Okay, so to demonstrate that point, I'm going to use our brand new Rate My Team tool. If you are interested in getting your team rated, just go to fantasyfootballhub.co.uk/rate my team. I'll leave a link in the description. And as you can see there, my team has scored 89%. If you are a Fantasy Football Hub member, you can press sort captains and bench. And obviously what that does, looks at future game weeks and sorts out your captaincy and your bench order, which I think is really interesting. And the point that I wanted to make here, obviously you can see that Son is going to be my captain in Game Week 3. Fernandes my captain in Game Week 4. Okay, so this is my team for Game Week 1. And interestingly, I haven't actually looked at this before, but it is suggesting that I play White over Veltman. Both of them coming out with 3.3 projected points. So there's not really anything in that. But it is interesting that it's saying that, and that has made me think, you know, maybe I should be considering playing White in Game Week 1. I probably will still play Veltman. You know, I like to use these tools as a bit of a sense check, but, you know, it's saying both are projected to score 3.3 anyway. But the point I wanted to make here is that it's really good for identifying weaknesses in your teams coming up. So if I switch through to Game Week 4, and using this tool that made me realise that in Game Week 4, my team was going to need another defender. And at the time, I had a double up of Amati and Tsimikas, and both of those were potentially very doubtful for Game Week 4. You know, Amati, I think he's a good early option, but looks like Leicester might sign Vestergaard, which obviously puts his place in a little bit of doubt. Obviously, with Tsimikas, potentially Robertson coming back in. So he's looking at this and using this tool that made me realise that, yeah, I need a good budget defender for Game Week 4 onwards, which is why I've gone for Ben White. Okay, so switching back to my team then. Now, obviously, we all want to get off to a good start. We all want to score really, really well in Game Week 1. But I cannot stress how important it is to look beyond Game Week 1. Look at those future fixtures. not just Game Week 1 fixtures. Look at the future, look at your team in a few game weeks' time and see if it does have any weaknesses. I'd highly recommend using the Rate My Team tool. Very, very useful. Alongside White on the bench, I've gone for Brownell. I don't think there's too much to choose between him, Basuma and Gilmore, to be honest. Just pick one of them. They're probably not going to come into your side. And I've also gone for Obafemi and Foster. Obviously, those guys are highly unlikely to play, but they're just there to make up the numbers. So that is it, guys. I wanted to say a massive, massive thank you to everyone that has watched the videos, everyone who has subscribed to the channel, and of course, everyone who has signed up to Fantasy Football Hub. Massively, massively appreciate your support, and good luck for Game Week 1. I'll see you on the other side. Bye for now.